this show on the road. Welcome to Overwatch and welcome to Coaching the Many with Solid76. Saying hello Twitch chat, by the way. As you can see, there's no ranks. There's no ranks. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? Ah, there's no ranks. No ranks anywhere. That's simply because this is a placement game. But these players are all about 4K, MMR. You know, approximately. Hey, Anima.
Welcome to Overwatch.
What the hell? What's the bot gonna say?
Kiss.
Oh, I didn't know the bot said. That's pretty good. Thank you, Anima. Thank you for sticking with the many for so long. Great. Okay. So, Solid76 is an interesting hero. He's your bread and butter. He's your vanilla. He's very standard to be doing standard things. I've talked about Solid76 in the past a lot. He's very, very important to your team lineup. You're most welcome, Cats and Cats.
Me equals D.
Equals D indeed, Cats and Cats. Thank you for sticking around for 2 months as well. Lovely. Oh, God. Right. So, what are we doing? I'll say to you, Styles modes for you as well, Infra. Really? You started streaming now. Like, now's the time to actually keep using them. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of Twitch chat. Bye, Twitch chat. T-Surfer hates you, apparently. God, so rude. So rude, Twitch chat. So rude. Shocking. And we'll get started with the game. Okay. The soldier, bread and butter, very standard, very, very simple in terms of what he does. He shoots things and they explode. Like, that's what you're going to be doing in Solid76. My frame rate on my camera's a little bit low. I'm going to fix that. Well, they load in. You can see he's checking out his teammates, and, like, this guy's decayed from 3.7. They're all about 3.7 to 4K-ish. So, high Masters game, okay? This is about the level that I usually play at. So, I'm basically coaching what I would consider someone pretty much equal in my skill level, probably. In terms of, you know, actual gameplay.
I don't like this competition.
Yeah, I don't like this competition. There is something that stands out in this competition that is, you know, tilting the shit out of me, which is the Junkrat. Need to turn on the gain.
I'm not doing double.
Overwatch was shut down for
That might be. Oh, it's actually, he doesn't like the Mercy Anna, really. Mercy Anna is actually an interesting one. Let's just talk about that while they get set up and while they get into position, because Mercy gets a rough rep in my mind. Like, a lot of people overlook a lot of the assets that Mercy brings to a team in terms of just how much healing she puts out. She has a huge amount of healing power during a fight. Like, Anna can get a lot of healing out, Anna can get even more healing out, but that's not to discount the amount that Mercy can put out on specific targets in specific places. You can't quite pick everyone up the same way that Lucio can, but that's why you have Solid76, who can do that very well. Zarya, for example, doesn't actually need that much healing. She looks after herself quite a lot, and then she can generally retreat pretty well, so she can get back to people pretty easily. For example, Reinhardt can look after himself, Junkrat can retreat, all these good things. Right. I started the game. There's actually one thing I don't like this, and basically, let's talk about spotting, because it's actually a topic that I really like talking about these days, because I think not enough teams do it properly. And 5 seconds ago, I would have been happier. I would have actually been happier if Junkrat was the one doing this. Okay, YouTube, please. YouTube, I need you to do my job. Okay, and, because I believe it goes in stands near where I want to point out. No, there. Okay, got the pen, woo, hello pen. Okay. Well, yeah, I would like to see someone standing in here. Because what that does, it lets you spot what's coming out on the bridge. Honestly, I would like to see callouts as well on, like, what's coming out the door, what's pushing out this way. Like, you got to see and got to know what they're running as soon as possible. You got to know what they're doing as soon as possible, because that lets you very quickly reactively change how you're going to position. Lots of teams in Watchpoint Gibraltar love sending someone up and in through this pathway. Like, someone loves coming through here every time, and you'd be surprised how efficient it is to just have someone camp out this room. Like, you can have Anna stand in here and just watch the door. And when they start putting pressure on, Anna can then turn and come back in, and she can heal from there as well. Or you can have Junkrat put the trap up here, for example, and then you just trap someone coming in. But there are some very aggressive die comp strats that rely on going through this pathway, for example. There's like, Winston's love coming this way. Genji loves coming this way. The amount of times you can catch people off is enormous. Also, Widowmakers love getting on this bridge, and then they'll just stand, and sometimes they won't check into this corridor, so they'll try and focus on getting around here, and then you just shoot them in the head, and then Widow dies. Like, it's an unhappy French woman. It's a really, really powerful tool, and it's sort of disappointed me not to see that spotting happening immediately, basically. Okay, we can see very quickly. Reinhardt, Zarya, nothing too unusual. I'm just waiting for the call. There he is, the Genji. That's the Genji. What has Junkrat done in, like, these 2 seconds? And this is, like, this seems super nitpicky, but honestly, What has Junkrat done? He's got a damage amp on him. If he just had a trap over here, there's a good chance Genji just walks into it and dies. Very good chance that Genji just walks into it and dies. Instead, there's a potential that Genji goes in. We get a good rocket on him, like this is a bold rocket, but I actually kind of like that. With rockets, you've got to make a choice. You either rocket immediately and try and catch the Genji off guard so he doesn't deflect it, or you machine gun, and bait the deflect, and then you rocket after the deflect. Do one or the other. Don't start machine gunning, then rocket, because that gives Genji time to react. And we'll talk about this more later, because this guy actually does this very well.
The Bastion's low. Oh, never mind.
Okay. So they got a Bastion, so hey, we need to adapt our team comp. No, we need to adapt our positioning. I do actually like this movement out of this guy. He runs through the server room, doesn't drop down here. Just to clarify. Oh, sorry. I still got this cough, it's not going away. Actually really annoying. So when you drop down here, if you're dropping down here, they're already pushed under. Be very careful if you don't have the Reinhardt with you. Be very, very careful. That's a terrible arrow. My arrow drawing skills are usually so on point. Be very careful if the Reinhardt doesn't drop down first, so you drop down safely, especially if they have a Bastion, for example, who's just going to shoot you. And when they have an Orisa as well, if you drop down here and you don't have something to cover you, she will just pull you back and you will die. I've noticed this happening a lot on Eichenwald. Orisa does amazing on Eichenwald offense, and I love it to death. Okay. But I like this positioning here. Just to sort of, while they're pushing through here, while they're going underneath, this is where you want to be. As they start coming up here, we're going to look for a reposition. That's my ideal. We do want to be keeping an eye out. Like, this partially is Junkrat's job. If I were him, I'd put a trap over here and then just spam down here. Genji's in server room. This is our responsibility, so we need to deal with this. He's deflecting. Okay, he's dashed away. We can't catch him. Genji's pulled back. Not Genji, Junkrat's pulled back. And this is where, like, very minor detail, but like a little optimization like this could make a world of difference. Because this is such a high level game, we're going to be playing on like very fine margins of improvement. This is one of the good ones. I'm looking up here because I don't think this guy's voice broadcasts over the video, just due to how the video works. So I'm seeing no calls, no calls, no calls, no calls. Everyone's chasing him. Reinhardt's chasing. Everyone's chasing him. What would have fixed this? Because everyone's pulled back, everyone's trying to chase this Genji. The enemy team's just pushed in. You could fix this problem very quickly by saying, I got it. Just go on voice comms, I got it, Reinhardt go back to the front. Reinhardt Junkrat cover front, I got Genji. And that way you suddenly have this division of labor where suddenly this can't happen. Because this has happened because everyone is just pulling in to try and get rid of the Genji. And Diana rightfully says, you don't need the entire team doing it. You really don't. You want to see people, but anyway, maybe turn around and then soldiers to go in and try and get rid of it. But Reinhardt overcommits, he fucks up his charge. Anna's now very vulnerable. Let's get a finishing blow. Good target priority. Correct. Also, I want to just highlight something very important.
Chasing a Genji.
Reinhardt charges through. So we avoid the charge. And we help confirm the kill and don't leave until the kill is confirmed. That's good. The amount of times I've seen people just like leave and assume that the Reinhardt's got it, for example, is frustrating. Just confirm the kill. It takes no time at all. Got the Anna. Genji. Not able to really cause us too much of an issue, especially if we've got the Mercy and Anna looking after each other, and we're on a healing field. This Genji is actually a very low threat. Excellent rocket, good follow-up for finish. Okay, Bastion, no problem. Good cleanup. This is where I start getting worried. Luckily, the enemy team actually starts fucking up here in my mind. So let's talk about Watch Point Gibraltar, because it's actually a very important fact about this map. I think let's get a good angle so I can do some good drawings. Okay, this'll do. Whatever. Okay. So when you're attacking Watch Point Gibraltar, when you got the payload to about here, where it is now, down here, underneath my face, yeah, you don't want to be coming through this long pathway, because by going through this long pathway, if you think about it in terms of sight lines, like how far can the enemy see you, the enemy team has a sight line all the way through this tunnel, right? They can see all the way down this tunnel, no problem. So if you're running down there, you are spending all this travel time getting shot by the enemy team. And that's bad. You want to be being shot as little as possible, right? The logic makes sense. I mean, you don't want to get shot at. It's pretty clear cut in my mind. So, what do? You go up here, you take this high ground, or you go up here onto what I call blue boxes. If you go on blue boxes, then you can just shoot down and these guys are fucked, right? You don't try and push through here. And what I'm going to see the enemy team do is, well, push through here repeatedly. Like the Mercy's vulnerable, good shooting on the Mercy. Okay, Zary's now getting cut off. Good rockets. And they're still kind of committing. I think Reinhardt's trying to scoop them out of it. But we can keep punishing, no problem. One thing we've got to be careful of, and I like the fact that, like, this movement here, So we're shooting. Okay, we're going to reload, and he looks up. This is super, super important because something's about to happen, and we need this knowledge. Something important is about to happen.
Room.
Yep.
Okay, so Mercy's running to there. That's not our problem. We can't chase that. We can't afford to chase that down. Like, because she's not actually coming up this way, is she? She's going to stay in there. So we can't chase that. We just got to keep our eyes open. And again, good scouting would be nice. Especially like Anna, for example, watches the side room and tries to heal at the same time. Would be very nice. But hey! Did you see it? I hope you saw it. What's this? What's this little speck? What's this speck? This is an angry French woman. This is the angriest French woman in the world. And she's got a big ponytail, swooping off into the distance, and a huge booty. There we go. And for some reason her booty is on the front. That actually makes some boobs. It looks more like a bunny rabbit. Anyway, my drawing skills aside, this is a Widowmaker. Oh shit. He's just dropped this barrier. We almost got a head blown off.
Watch out.
Okay. So they have a Widowmaker. What do? Well, she has line of sight over this way. Well, what do? We just tuck in around here. They've got to move the payload around here. You either tuck in around this corner or you tuck in around here and you defend from over here. No fucking problem. Because again, he's over there. That's, for example, that's a gamble that's gone wrong because we just turned, instantly fired the rocket, but he's managed to catch it because of range. That nearly annihilates our Junkrat. Feels bad, man. And yeah. This is where it starts getting tricky. If we were on this side, then we could reasonably try and get up here. This is, I don't know what this is. This is like a Roadhog hook. But we could just go up, like, you know, you go around and you go up. Like, we could do that, but because we're stuck around here, we're sort of forced into this low ground position. And it gets a little bit tricky, okay? We've got start your engines. Got a nano blade. Correct response, unfortunate positioning, I think is what I'll give this. Good res by Mercy. Honestly, I say I'd actually put Mercy on blast for this play, like to optimize this play, okay? Again, it's very small margins. To optimize this play, all it would have taken is Mercy saying, I have res. All it would have taken. Because what happens if Mercy does that is we have a nano visor after we all die to this. So we just let this death happen. We basically like run into this as YouTube loads. Come on, YouTube. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, YouTube. You can do it. You can handle this. Fuck's sake, YouTube. Like, you can easily sacrifice to this, let this kill you, don't blow the nanovisor, then the res comes up, and then we can nanovisor afterwards, no fucking problem. Instead, we just have like a naked soldier nano boost, and we try and kill against you, we get hammered down from behind, because for some reason, Reinhardt's busy chasing him down. I imagine Reinhardt's barrier's already too low. Luckily, Mercy keeps us alive. Hey, Mercy has a lot of healing. It's pretty fucking good. And then we get our face blown off by Widowmaker. Feels bad, man, because no one's pressuring the Widow, because everyone's busy chasing around a Genji. It all goes wrong. They use a res, not too bad. Junkrat gets the Widow, but I imagine it's not going to get too much else. And then when this death happens, yeah, this is over. We are out. It's just, it's very, very small communication things, just very quickly making plans of like, the second that Dragon Blade should be drawn, the Mercy should be saying, I have res, I have res, I have res. Even just like spamming the Z button to like put the message in chat, very worth it. This is where we have to be super careful. Because Widowmaker has momentum, she has space because no one can pressure her. This transition is now incredibly difficult. As you can see, we instantly lose the Anna, and we are basically pinned in this area. We cannot afford to poke out because we will just die.
Sniper top left with Mercy.
This is correct. When there is a Widowmaker, please call out where the Widowmaker is. You've got to keep doing it. You've got to make sure that everyone knows where she is so you can position accordingly. Junkrat, still not really contributing at the moment. Team really needs something to help deal with that. This is very aggressive onto the Reinhardt. It does pay off because the Earth Shadow goes through. Like, I've no, like, this to me is actually surprisingly coordinated. Where the Reinhardt, like, he hasn't called it out. He hasn't notified anyone that he has Earth Shadow, but he has Earth Shadow, and that's kind of useful. So by blowing that away, that opens up the land. He didn't put his barrier up because he was expecting the Zarya barrier to keep him safe, and then people can run in. Grenade goes in, catches just about everyone. Death should start happening. One death does happen. Genji doesn't have deflect anymore. This is an easy kill for us. Just use the fucking rocket. There we go. Like, we could have got this. The second he steps here, you rocket this. Because it's poking out the wall. This is close enough to kill this. No problem. Like, speed matters. Let's get rid of this rather than this. Because this happens. Surprising that missile hit, but it's a Mercy Widow. They're just going to heal up. No problem. Okay, now we can start focusing. Now that the Genji's dead, we can change our priority. Genji's out of the back line. Let's turn and face the Widowmaker. Junkrat's going to be the one handling the tank, so we need to keep our eye on Genji and Widow. It's a little bit tall to ask us to do both, but hey, we've got to kind of muscle up and do it.
Widow's on the right side of the room now.
So I like all this pressure on the Widow, because this means that Widowmaker isn't doing anything, and now that Genji's coming back in, now we have to be a bit more careful. He pulls back, stands nearer the supports, and tucks away. Gets ready for Genji to try and make a play, dash in, for example, all that kind of stuff. But you notice the second we do that, Widowmaker starts firing shots again. So there's an ebb and flow that's happening here that we have to be very careful of. One thing I would like to see, and one thing I would like to mention, is like at this stage, like we have all this fighting happening in like this area here, and I'm actually going to change to gold for one specific reason. Wouldn't it be nice if we just ran and put our health field down about here? Because what that means is that these two tanks have a nice little area that they can stand in. It means that Anna has to heal less, and if Anna has to heal less, Anna can help using the Reinhardt barrier to snipe at the angry Frenchwoman, and that puts more pressure on Widow. He lands the 1 or 2 Anna shots land, you get a follow-up, Widow dies, no problem. Like this Reinhardt being hurt, I wouldn't feel too bad about putting a health pack, like a healing field down here, just helping out with the healing just a little bit, making sure that the Anna doesn't have to worry about keeping the Reinhardt alive, for example. We can help deal with that. It also builds up your ultimate a little bit as well, so why not?
On the left side.
Now we have a resource that we're not using here, and I don't think we've used it actually for quite some time. If I just check if it's on cooldown or not.
No.
YouTube just stops. Yeah, so it hasn't been on cooldown. 5 seconds later, still not on cooldown. 5 seconds later, still not on cooldown. 5 seconds later, still not on cooldown. You get the idea. It's a resource that we could be using, could be putting in areas where people are fighting, and then just making sure that they're nice and safe. You notice the pressure on Widow? She's super low now, and especially like when this happens and when they start pushing, putting a heal field down behind the tanks is never a bad idea. And this is positioning, like, when I see Azaria doing this to me screams Graviton Surge. Just the way she's moving, that looks like a grab, so I like this movement back. Now we're moving back in, now we've got to be a bit careful. There's Graviton Surge, there's the Dragon Blade, there's Earth Shatter gets wasted, so that's Silver Lining. Mercy's still alive, I believe. Mercy's alive, okay, he makes it. We've got to take a gamble here, we've got to take this gamble. Just basically visor and go. Unfortunately, the Anna's on point. Beautiful sleep dart. We have our visor online, and then this is a screenshot I tweeted before we began because I found it hilarious as Widow just gets the easiest shot of her life.
On top.
Like, don't you feel silly? Like, isn't this the saddest thing you've ever seen? Isn't this just sad? Isn't it just? He's got his visor on. He's ready to go, and he's just oh. And Widow's just stood there laughing and laughing. It's just bad news bears, really. Actually, we gotta do this properly. I'm willing to waste a bit of time doing this. Come on, load it up. Isn't it just? Isn't it just... Isn't it just the saddest thing you've ever seen? Isn't it just tragic when this happens? Like, let's go. Let's watch the entire play and just enjoy the sleep dart. He goes for it. Oh no! Oh God! And Reinhardt tries, bless him, but he misses. And we're just stuck in Mercy's providing healing. But who shoots us? Who finds us? Oh, Anna's had a bit of tumble. Boom! It's the Widowmaker. She gets us, and oh no. Oh no. Oh God, no. I mean, she dies for it, which is an upside. Okay, that's enough of that. Right, okay, we've done enough on this play. Is there anything better we could have done there? Not really. Like, we had to take that gamble, I'd say. No matter what, we were dead there, so if we gamble, if we get the visor off and they're still fighting on the point, we win the point. So, I am perfectly fine with that decision. That is the correct decision to make. I would have done exactly the same thing, and I think it's right.
Welcome to OneAmongstMany.
Holy shit, did that just send me a sub? No, it's a 2-month resub, but that's still massively appreciated. Zingo, thank you for sticking around for the second month. There we go. Just gotta make sure now it's on the correct speed. Okay then. Let's reposition. So we gotta just get back to where we are. Let's provide healing to this Mercy. Why aren't we supporting this Mercy? Mercy is like, we did the correct thing. We pulled back a little bit here. Actually, we almost moved forward, but you want to stand about, what, pink? You want to stand about here, just so that Mercy, when she comes over, she's going to end up about here, which is where she wants to be. No harm in putting a heal field here, especially on the corner. Like, if there's a heal field over here, like doing all this, like if it's down here, she comes onto it, she's now healing, she's feeling good, she's feeling fine, she's feeling happy. We have somewhere we can fight, where we can go back and forth on this, and that feels really good if we do that. Like, it'll be very worth just putting the heal field down. Otherwise, just getting some damage on the Genji. A little bit of burst fire, stop, and reset. Yep. So you want to Baphomet. Baphomet is transmitting like crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a bit more than 4 shots, but hey, just getting some damage out. The main thing we're trying to do here is stabilize and slow the enemy team down. We definitely want to be keeping an eye. Like, what I recommend doing is making sure you're watching very carefully if anyone is coming up this way. Because you'll occasionally see, like, soldiers, for example, take a sprint and they'll run and then they'll go through, you know, this door here. And if they get through that door, then you're going to have a world of fucking problems. Also, Widowmakers like to just take the direct route. And if she gets up there, you guys are in fucking trouble. That would then be your job, probably, to sprint across and deal with her. But okay. We don't want to be engaging them too hard here. They have the better team over long range, just because we have a Junkrat who's, you know, more medium range. They have a Widowmaker that's just going to cause nightmares for us. So we have to be a little bit careful. Good damage on the Zarya, good tracking, looks good.
Oh, what? Wait, I thought Widow was on the top.
Like, this is why, by the way, like, when I coach Reinhardt, I say, don't drop your barrier. Like, why did he drop his barrier there? It's not in any risk. We've just died for it. This is why, as Reinhardt, you don't do that. Because now we've lost a major source of damage. We've lost the thing that can control Widowmaker. Widowmaker can now do whatever she wants. Because who's going to stop her? It's not going to be Zarya. It's not going to be Reinhardt. It's not going to be Junkrat. Anna might be able to, but then there's less healing on the team. It's not going to be fucking Mercy. They can't do anything. They can't do anything.
How did I get shot with the range shield?
Also, I just want to point out as well, like, sidestepping.
How did I get shot with the range shield?
So, as Widow, one thing you can do, which is quite nice, is you can just aim, like, if you see that their Reinhardt is doing this, like, sidestepping motion, you can just aim in an area like that, and you just wait. You just wait for this barrier to slide across, and you just get headshots. The amount of times I've, as Widow, like, I've watched the Reinhardt barrier, and I've watched him, like, move forward and just kept my crosshair, like, let's say you're looking down on a target and Reinhardt's moving forward and there's just an Anna stood still behind him. You just put your crosshair on Anna's head and you just wait for the Reinhardt to walk forward and then instant kill. It happens surprisingly often. Reinhardt's just stand still, put your barrier into the fucking wall and pivot around the wall. Don't do any of this nonsense, because that barrier drop, she just took a chance, she just fired a shot. If it hits the barrier, fine, it's 100 damage. If she doesn't fire if Reinhardt drops his barrier, instant kill. We're sort of lucky in that the enemy team didn't capitalize too much on it, but they're still making their way around this corner. And now you notice that we have no good control over this area up here. So now Widowmaker can get up here and we can have... It's no longer the cool dude. It's no longer a cool dude. It's a cool, angry French woman. I really should have done this in blue. Well, she's blue and pink. Okay, now she's blue. With a big blue ponytail. She can now come up here, and this cool chick up here could do whatever she wants, if she positions up there. Let's find out if he does. Oh, look, Widow's up top. Watch out. Anna's dead. She's got a damage boost on her. Your team is getting pressured to shit.
Maybe need like a Winston or a Diva.
Genji's Dragon Bladed. Good res, but it might be too little too late. Genji's going to get some kills. Genji gets himself some kills. Graviton Surge goes off. They are using all their ults really well. Notice how this is all coming off one single thing. Notice how this is a series of events that have happened based on a single, simple error, okay? And this is, like, these are the margins that we are talking about at this kind of level of play, because no one's really making massive errors, like massive, obvious mistakes. But this single movement. Dropping his barrier for no reason. Soldier 76 dies. A lot of pressure on the front line goes. Enemy team can start advancing aggressively. That means they get around the corner. That means Widowmaker can get on the high ground. That means Widowmaker has a clear shot on Ana. That means less healing. That means there's also nothing to stop a nano boosted Genji coming in. Nano Blade comes in. Some early deaths happen. Mercy panics. Ults for the res because she doesn't want to die to nano boost because there's nothing to keep her alive. Snowball, 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 snowball. Because we're not there, because we can't get out in position, because the enemy team's pressuring so hard, we can't stop Widowmaker, just free farming, basically, free shooting. Res goes off early, just as probably a panic reaction.
Ana's lit.
And yeah. One mistake. One simple mistake. And yeah. Now, yeah, it is worth mentioning that there is a Junkrat pick here. So the Junkrat is very unorthodox and doesn't, like, you notice that it didn't stop the enemy team just running in and killing everything. It didn't stop the Genji getting in because the trap stops dash now, which is great, but that never seemed to happen. Junkrat never seemed to manifest into much as well, which is a bit of a problem. If the Junkrat swapped to Winston, for example, you guys could have been laughing. Because then Winston could just go and sit on Widowmaker's face. That shuts down a lot of problems. That means that you as a soldier can focus on the Genji, and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. The Junkrat caused a lot of issues without doing much good. He might have done a lot to the barriers, but probably not enough to be worthwhile. Still, it's not over. It's reasonable time. Like, it's not great.